Fernandes took his free kick. Now, it was measured at 11.2 yards, which is further than the usual 10 yards. And actually, full credit to Gary Neville, because he kind of spotted it straight away before technology was put in place to measure it. So it begs the question, Dermot, should Anthony Taylor have realised it was too far, or is that just really hard for him to work out with no device to exactly measure the distance?
Well, he felt it was 10 yards, and also, in fairness to him, the law says a minimum of 10 yards, so it doesn't say they can't go back 11. What I would also say, he may have factored in the fact that when the free kick's taken, they actually move forward anyhow. So by the time the free kick's taken, they're probably closer to 10.
Give them an inch, though. They take 11.2 yards. I mean, that's the question. It does. Stephen, how much of a difference does that 1.2 yards make on a free kick like that?
Well, I think when you see the free kick from behind the goal, from behind where Bruno Fernandes takes it, it's so close to touching Mikel Moreno's head. Now, if you bring that forward and then he makes that jump, he probably deflects it over, or it hits his head at some point anyway. It allows Bruno Fernandes an opportunity to see the goal better. So when that wall is further away, it makes the goal bigger. So he got that visually, he can see that in a better way as well. So it stacks up in Bruno Fernandes' favour massively.
It does for the top quality players like that. Those small margins make a huge difference, don't they? And you could see when the wall jumped, you could see they were so close to getting it, weren't they? So you just think that little extra bit. I think I've just showed something, haven't I? That little extra bit certainly, give Bruno Fernandes the advantage. But he executed it very well.
He did. You mentioned the IFAB law. If off the top of my head, I think it's 13.2, the IFAB law, which states that it has to be, as you were right in saying, at least 9.15 metres in the old money. That's 10 yards from the ball, unless they're on the goal line between the goalposts. So, yes, you are correct that it is at least. So, under the IFAB law, it could be 11.2 yards and it's still within the law. It can't be less. But, Dermot, are you telling me that referees just guess this? Or is there an art to judging exactly what 10 yards is? So we thought we'd put it to the test, because you refereed many, many times. Sue is always our leader. She's got the ruler.
Correct.
And we are going to test this out. So here is the studio. And Dermot, we're going to start from here. And we want you to measure out, if you were giving that free kick at Old Trafford yesterday, we want you to measure out 10 yards for us and see how close you get.
I've got to estimate where 10 yards is.
Yeah, so you're going to walk that way. Dermot,
measure it.
On your marks, get set, go.
And I will take it with the tape measure.
11.
Now, Dermot, first of all, can we have a ruling, please, from Sue Smith?
I tell you what, that's spot on, Derm.
That's exactly 10 yards.
Absolutely brilliant.
11 steps, 10
Spot
yards.
on.
So right, let's go back here. So we've done it. Well done, Dermot. A little round of applause. Even Rob Jones over there is giving a little round of applause. Oh, no, they're all giving a round of applause. Now, what I noticed there was normally you'd think 10 yards, 10 steps. You
Took 11.
took 11. Why did you take 11, Dermot?
Because I know from experience that 11 of my steps is 10 yards.
So you know that because you would have paced it out as part of your kind of weird referee training.
Yeah, when I started out, that's how I worked it out.
OK, so does every referee do that? So therefore, what I'm trying to get to is Anthony Taylor should know, even if he only does 9 paces because he's a bit taller than you, or exactly 10, he should know exactly how far 10 yards is.
Yeah, all referees would have their system, wouldn't they? Andy D'Urso had a brilliant system of what he called a hop, skip and jump. He reckoned if he went hop, skip and jump, it was 10 yards. And when you measured it out, he was always spot on. It was incredible.
Wow, I want you to...
That wasn't me.
Give us a Durso, go on.
That wasn't me.
No. So you all know in your head, so what happened yesterday then? Why wasn't that at 10? Why was it at 11.2?
Well, I'm not sure the calibration's been verified anyhow, but Anthony Taylor's got his system for measuring out 10 yards. It's interesting if you look at the pictures, the grass is cut in six-yard things. You look at that, it doesn't look very much off 10 yards when you see it.
Yeah.
If you show the picture there.
Yeah. But also, player gets in his way as he's pacing it out, doesn't it? I wonder if that just slightly, literally knocks him out of his stride.
I tell you what knocked me out there. So if that's 1 yard in, 7 yards, 3 yards, these are 6 yards cut, these lines. You know that because there's 3 in the penalty area, which is 18. So again, that's a guide to the referee, that helps you. Yeah. Things like this, that mark will be 10 yards from the penalty spot. So there's guides for referees to help them.
Which is interesting, because you pointed out from the edge, the reason that D's there is to make sure you're 10 yards from the penalty spot, isn't it? That's its only function in life.
That's right. That's right.
That's the only reason for being here, which I get the feeling of quite often in my life. But Arsenal then got a free kick of their own in the second half. And if we have a look at this one, so this one here is what? Not even a yard from the edge of the D. It's actually virtually on the D, yet the original line he puts down is quite beyond the penalty spot. So United players were around him going, you've measured it wrong here, because they most probably got the word as well at half-time that he'd measured it wrong from the first one. You can see them trying to move up towards the penalty spot because they're saying, well, look where the free kick is being taken from.
But he does put them there, doesn't he? If you look, he puts them back there.
Eventually. But the original one was kind of a bit further back, wasn't it?
It's quite interesting, Rob, but it's 8 minutes into the programme, talking about referee measuring it out, and we've seen one of the best goals you've seen this season, and you haven't spoken.
Yeah, but it's preventable, isn't it? Because of the wall.
If you're Arsenal, you're furious.
So from an Arsenal point of view, I'm thinking if I can move forward and prevent that going in the goal, then maybe we go in at 0-0 at half-time, and then it's a completely different game. So I get why it's so frustrating for especially Arsenal fans, Arsenal players, because the game is such small margins, and we are absolutely picking the bones out of this.
Rio Ferdinand calls out Gary Lineker's nonsense claims that Sir Alex Ferguson started Man United's decline, and reels off the stats to prove it. Rio Ferdinand has hit back at claims Sir Alex Ferguson has been partly responsible for Man United's decline. United have endured a dismal 12 years since last winning the top flight in 2012-13 in what was Ferguson's final season in charge of the club. That triumph was United's 20th English League title, but the Red Devils fallen on hard times since, with their highest finish being second, while they have also regularly failed to qualify for the Champions League. Under Ruben Amorim this season, United sit 14th, 14 points off the top four, and their season rests on the Europa League after being knocked out of the FA Cup by Fulham at the weekend. Following that defeat, Gary Lineker claimed Ferguson is to blame for the start of United's long decline, questioning the state he left the club in. And speaking on TalkSport on Monday, TalkSport pundit and former Chelsea star Jason Cundy echoed Lineker's calls, and implied that the makeup of the squad when Ferguson departed has been a key factor in United's subsequent struggles. I totally agree with him, Cundy said. When Sir Alex left, the squad that he left for David Moyes wasn't a squad that was being built for years to come. However, fellow pundit Jamie O'Hara refuted Cundy's claims and said you can't blame that now. Cundy did admit that United's struggles this season cannot be attributed to Ferguson, but he continued to ram home his point. I agree, not now, but it was the start of the decline in my opinion, Cundy added. He left the club in such a... I felt the squad, he didn't leave the club in an unbelievable state. Klopp left Liverpool in a far better position than Sir Alex left United in, that's a fact. Cundy continued, the squad was terrible, look at the back four. 3 of the main back four all left within 18 months to 2 years. That's not building a squad. CEO David Gill left and Woody Ed Woodward came in, so when Gill left, Woodward was terrible. Part of that partnership that Gill and Sir Alex had was broken too. Then all of a sudden you're bringing in Moyes and Ed Woodward. Those two things are the reasons United declined and are in the position they're in. You can't keep leading back on that as a reason for their struggles now, in my opinion though.